everybody, this is the Black Flag Running Club. I'm your head coach, Aaron Adrania. We are heading into week 17 and the last few weeks of our overall spring training program. Alrighty, so as the season is starting to come to a close, we are actively looking at new ways and different ways that we can kind of keep the club together as a whole. But you know, obviously until both the state and the county allows us to be able to meet in small groups, we're kind of at their mercy to be able to make that happen. So we're kind of looking at what is going to be the best approach. Do we kind of put things on hold until that stay-at-home order gets lifted, or until they let small groups start to meet up again? We're kind of looking at those things right now, and or just keep the program the way it's been going so far. So more on that as it kind of comes up. I want you to know though, in the next 2 weeks, we will formalize those plans and be able to make those official announcements. But right now, we're a little bit of a standing period, and obviously we'll communicate that out once we know more. But I want you to know that we are thinking about it, and then we'll have more news soon. Alrighty, so one portion of the club that's been going really well so far is our ability to still kind of keep connected on the happy hour. So as normal, this Tuesday we'll be having another happy hour at 7:30. Take a look at the weekly post, as the link for the Zoom call and all the other technical information will be listed in there. I know we had a little bit of problems this last week, but I think we'll be able to get those resolved heading into this Tuesday. And by all means, if you do run into a problem, you're trying to log into the call, shoot me a quick text, or you can IM through Facebook Messenger, whatever you'd like. Either one of those methods will work, and then we'll connect with you individually on figuring out what we have to do to get you actually involved into those calls if you're having technical issues. But the happy hours are still on. We are meeting at 7:30 every Tuesday, and hope to see you there this next week. So now let's take a look about where we're going to be running this Tuesday. Going back to an old classic, we're running at Anza Cove. I do have a few points I want to point out to you related to this run, as the main parking lots are all still currently closed, which means we have to be a little bit creative about where we're actually going to be parking at. So let's take a look at this map and identify where you're going to be parking and taking off from, as the main parking lot is currently closed. So as you head down the main road, which is North Mission Bay Drive, instead of making that left-hand turn that takes you into Campland, that's that campground that's right there, and then the main parking lot, you're going to continue to go straight up near the golf course entrance. And you're going to go past that main entrance. As you head down to the very end where the pedestrian bridge is at, there is a section where you can park in that area. Now, you have to make it all the way to the end of that cul-de-sac to be able to park there, as when you first pull in there between that main road and where the golf cart is at, there are signs posted there that says that you can't park there. But as you go a little bit further back, it does look like you are eligible to park there. So that's where I'm proposing that we're going to be taking off from for this run. All right, so now that you know where your parking is going to be, the route is pretty familiar with us. Basically, we're going to be starting off right at the corner of Anza Cove, and we're going to be running along the bike path there all the way to the end. Most of us are going to be using the pedestrian bridge at the very end of that pathway before we head towards SeaWorld as our turnaround point, turnaround and coming back from there. However, some of us are going to be doing as much as 7 miles, and for you guys, you may be going all the way down to the gazebo that's closer towards the entrance, and the dock ramp are at SeaWorld. So take a look at the map, get a good idea where your turnaround point is, as we've got a little bit of speed we're going to be introducing this week as well. Alright, so now that everybody knows where we're going to be running, let's take a look at what we've got planned for each one of those subgroups. Alright, so first up, we've got the main bulk of us, which is maintenance miles for the rock and roll team. We've got the run walk programs. You guys are listed out as doing a 1-9 or 1-4. So this is 1 minute walking followed by 9 minutes of running, or 1 minute of walking followed by 14 minutes of running. And you're going to be out there for a total of 60 to 70 minutes on this Tuesday. The intermediate group, we have you scheduled to do 5 to 6 miles, and then you're going to be doing this entire thing kind of at race pace. PR Chasers, you guys are going to go 1 extra mile above and beyond that, so we've got you listed out as being doing 7 miles, and then you're going to be doing that again at your current race pace for those races. Now that you got that, let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got planned for the restart group. Alright, so the restart group, we've got a new interval for you this week as well. Let's take a look at what we've got planned for you for this Tuesday. Alrighty, so you guys are going to be going out there for a total of 60 minutes this Tuesday, and then your new interval is going to be listed as 2:08 or 2:13. Hold on, because we are only going to be at this for 1 more week before we make our final jump up to conclude the season. And then for the intermediate group, you guys are gonna be out there for a total of 5 miles. We're gonna do the first 2 miles easy, and then you're gonna do your last 3 miles at lactate threshold, which again is kind of your general race pace. How long can you sustain that pace for the entire duration that you've got left? Now, if the 3 miles running at lactate threshold seems a little intense or a little bit more than you're willing to take on, another option that you can put in there is maybe you run 1 mile at lactate threshold and then take a minute of recovery, do another mile at lactate threshold, a minute of recovery, and then finishing off with your last mile again at that overall race pace. So just something to kind of consider, but again, we want to start introducing a little bit higher level of intensity and to our distance running on those Tuesdays. All right, I wanted to point out one other thing related specifically to the run walk program. We're starting to get really up in our total interval. So we've got the 1.9s and or the 1.14s. And then also even in our restart group, you guys are gonna be in that same general territory here in the next few weeks. So for you guys, by all means, you could stick with this interval for as long as you like. If you'd like, you could even start to increase the total number of time that you're running and maintain the 1 minute walk interval. But I do want you to start thinking about, maybe once we get past the end of this season, maybe transitioning to the intermediate program and seeing if we could sustain our running pace for a longer duration of time. So maybe we start doing 20 minutes of running and 1 minute of walking, 20 minutes of running, and eventually we'll turn you into, you'll be able to run the entire race itself. So first off, congratulations, because I know that where we started off to where we are today, you've done a lot of effort to get here, but now that you've actually arrived, now we can start talking about what's the next chapter in our book here of training, and thinking about maybe turning this into a consistent running pattern for the entire duration. Now, let's be honest, I don't know if you know this or not, but even the intermediate group and the PR chasers, they still take walk breaks occasionally. So there's no harm in walking in any of this running, but we are eventually going to be in a position that we can kind of graduate out of the interval program and kind of move more into more of a consistent running program. So congratulations. We still got a few more weeks before we're going to start talking about that, but that is something that's available for you. All right, so that concludes our Tuesday update. Thank you everybody for hanging with us as we move through the last few weeks of this season. So from here on out, we'll be giving you more information in the next 2 weeks on how we're gonna transition into that summer season and or what exactly that's going to look like. We may have a rest period in between there, but more on that soon. Hopefully we'll see you on Tuesday. And with that, remember, stay connected, be safe out there, run strong, and we'll see you on Friday with our next video post. Have a great week, guys.